wanted to go semi-freeform, and then I was like, what's going on with my dreads? Hey my beautiful gems, I am back once again with another video. Today we are discussing semi-freeform locks. Now, if you don't know, I have been spacing my retwist days to 2 months, and guys, I wanted to come in and show you my dreads as raw as I can, because girl, I'm a little bit confused about the semi-freeform, because I wanted to go semi-freeform, and then I was like, what's going on with my dreads? Let's get into it. Great, so let's get into what semi-freeform is. The semi-freeform method is when you either separate your locks from matting each other, or you do a retwist every maybe 6 months, or you do not have like a permanent schedule on when you're going to retwist your hair. And guys, I'm obsessed with semi-freeforming because I like my hair to look thick. Like, I like to have, you see that wild look. I like to have like my roots looking thick because it just makes my head look smaller. Okay, but let's be serious. Now I've been doing semi-freeform because I barely retwist my hair these days. Like, I do have a video when I retwisted my hair, and if you want to see it, I'll put it on the description below right here. But as I was saying, like, I literally stopped retwisting my hair every single month because I realized my edges was struggling. And guys, I don't have strong edges, okay? If I pull on my edges, they're going to cut, all right? And if you're just like me, then you gotta stretch your retwist days, because you don't want to end up with those guys who have edges like way down there, right? So yeah, so I decided I was gonna stretch out my retwist, and now I do a retwist every 2 months. But I have some fears that I like to discuss with you guys, because I'm seeing some things in my dreads and I'm like, is this okay? Right, so when you look at my dreads, let me come closer. So when you look at my dreads, these dreads at the back are really strong. You see the root, I can almost, like, it's very hard for my finger to get through through them. So when it comes to these type of dreads, like my thick dreads, like, let me just get another thick one. They literally form perfectly into the dreadlock that they're supposed to be. And then I have locks like, let me try and look for my flat locks. It's a flat lock. That is a flat lock. I think I need to remove I don't know if you can see. Yeah, it's a flat lock. I'm gonna try, there we go. This is a flat lock. Like, I'm getting, can you see that? I'm getting flat locks in some places of my hair, but I don't really mind about the dreads that are becoming flat locks, because I kind of like them. I feel like those are like my little special dreads. But what I'm really worried about is my edges. Now let me show you what's going on with my edges. All right, I told you I spaced out my retwist, so let me try and find, does that? Okay, sorry, I'm gonna have to remove the cinematics, one moment. Right, so now that you can see clearly, isn't that like the most scariest thing you could ever look at? It looks like my lock is getting thinner and thinner at the roots, and this only happens at this area of my hair, like the front, my edges, and maybe at the, actually it's only happening at my edges. And I came to realize why this was becoming a problem. Now, thanks to another YouTuber, I watched one of her videos, and she was talking about semi-freeform and why it does not work for everybody. When you're doing a semi-freeform, and for the people whose semi-freeform has really worked for them, those are guys with a lot, like, very thick hair. Their hair is very dense. So you see, like, how when you look at my hair in this section, it's really thick. I got a lot of hair there. So these locks here, I barely ever have to retwist them. I don't even, like, they don't exist to me. But when it comes to the edges, my edges are just, you know, slightly thinner. That's why you can kind of see through them. At least, well, mostly on this side, because all my dreads are different sizes. But as you can see, my, like, this one, you know, is just really thin. And what she said was, sometimes when you do not retwist your hair, like, you do not give your hair, you know, a month of retwist, and then let's say after a month you don't, like, that month you're not fiddling with your hair, you're not putting water in your hair, because guys, I do a retwist and then like 3 days later I will wash my dreads. So, you know, she was saying that when you do a retwist and then maybe you do a style, that really keeps your hair from separating from the dread, and that stops the dread that's connected to the loose hair from thinning. So if you do semi-freeform and you barely retwist your hair and you don't have very thick hair, the loose hairs will start separating from the dread, right? And that means that the hair that is holding the dread will start thinning out. Example, this don't look right. Like, by the way, guys, I came and I just wanted to show you my dreads as raw as I could show them to you, because guys, our dreads don't always look perfect, and I feel like I wanted to show you guys the struggles I go through and talk about it, because I want to know, are you going through the same thing? Are you doing semi-freeform? Do you retwist every single month? Do you retwist and style for the whole month? Like, I would love to know those things, and maybe we should talk more about those topics, because a girl is a bit confused. So anyway, I don't know if you've seen Lock Crush. I'll put a picture right here. I have followed this girl for like 7 years, honestly, because like I was obsessed with locks for so long, and then when I finally committed to doing locks, her locks were already like all the way down to her bum, and I was like, why didn't I just start with you? But I realized that she tends to retwist the front of her hair, because she's realized that even for her, the front of the hair has loose hairs that like to like separate from the dread, and it's making her hair thin. So she retwists the parts that need to be retwisted, like every single month or even every single 2 to 3 weeks, like going to church. You know what I'm saying? It is like a routine that she does every single 3 weeks. She retwists those dreads that have really thin hair so that they don't start thinning out. So let me explain. One moment. Had to get the water before I do anything. So what she does is, and I want to get a hair that is, we can just do this one since it's the one that's suffering. So you can see it's thinning out, and these, I wish I could put a cupboard, but these little hairs, you see, they can just separate. You see that? Those can really separate from, I'm trying to make a way that you guys can see. These hairs can actually separate from your locks. So she makes sure every 3 weeks, she grabs the little hairs so that they don't fly away, right? And this is just for, sorry guys, this is how I retwist my hair. I don't force anything. If that's how they want to be separated, that's how they want to be separated. I don't mind not having a clean part, but yeah. So what I'm gonna do is just hold this away so we can just look at that one dread. Okay, so what she does is she makes sure that the dreads that tend to have thinning, because they have low density in the front of the head, she twists them, and she makes sure she keeps them twisted all the time, right? And that way the little hairs don't end up flying away. And I liked this type of technique because yes, I don't like to retwist my hair all the time, but I don't want my edges to thin out. And sometimes it is just advisable to make sure that keeping those little hairs from flying, that you're keeping those little hairs from flying away from your locks. So does semi-freeform work? I feel that semi-freeform works for some people, because even still, I'm looking at my locks and there are just some places where I have so much growth. Like, look at all that growth. It's like, when's my hair gonna lock? When are you gonna lock, darling? You know what I mean? So I feel like some places your hair might need assistance to keep that lock, because you don't want the hair flying away from the lock. Because yes, it can happen in some places, but it will thin out your lock and eventually your lock is gonna fall out. But let me explain the ones that are so strong that they just hold. Like, I barely retwist these. Like, look at that. I don't even, like, it has its own life, you know what I mean? And then so yeah, so for me, I guess the method I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be retwisting the front of my hair, right? I'm trying to show you this one. I retwisted yesterday when I realized that my hair was actually thinning. So what I'm gonna be doing is, you see that thinness? I don't think it's good. So like this, I would retwist. So what I'm gonna be doing is retwisting probably the fronts of my hair, and then just letting the back of my hair just be as free and as thick as it wants to be. And I don't know, you guys, can you share with me what you've been going through with your free form locks? Have you been having problems? I don't mind flat locks. I don't mind locks that are different sizes. That does not disturb me, but I do mind thinning of my roots, okay? Because I don't want no lock to fall off my hair. If I saw a lock of mine on the floor, yeah, I'd be really sad. So I hope this video helped. If you're struggling with your semi-freeform locks, tell me what you're doing and tell me how, and comment on how I can help you. Like, tell me what you're going through so that I can assist you in the problems you might be having with your locks, because it's a journey and I feel like it's a beautiful journey at the end of the day, and you learn so much. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about today. I love you guys, and thank you so much for clicking on this channel. And if you watched the video to the end, you're a queen and you're a king. Have a lovely day.